Blog Talk Radio.
Today on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I will have an interview with the new Clash Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Justin Maine, and that is all on 360 Wrestling Fanatic right here, right now.
From Clash Wrestling. This is the mad scientist, Tommy Tresnick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my name is Matt Dowling, and you're listening to 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Keep it locked in.
Hey, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. And at this time, I am being joined by a man that on January 19th, 2013, made his Clash Wrestling debut. He has been very impressive since then. And then 1 week ago tonight, he won the Clash Wrestling Heavyweight Championship by defeating Tommy Dreamer. I'm talking to the 5-star attraction, the Hollywood sensation, and the main event, Justin Maine. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Lance. I appreciate it.
It's an honor to be able to talk to you today.
Yeah, I would think it's an honor to talk to me, too. I'm the brand new Clash Heavyweight Champion, and it's been a long time coming, at least since January.
Yes, and now before we talk about All Out War from this past Saturday, let's go back to Seize the Day 6 in January. You made your debut. There was a lot of hype, and you were in a four-way match against the future Mike Daniels, Swag Star Dave Manzo, and a guy that has been a guest on this show multiple times, Wrecking Ball Randy Casey. And what was that first match in Clash Wrestling like for you?
I think everybody got the wrong representation of yours truly. They got the wrong idea about me. I mean, I'm supposed to introduce myself to the public in such an extravagant way because I was built up so amazingly, and they started to boo me. For what reason? It makes no sense to me. I mean, I'm clearly the best wrestler on the Clash roster by far. Besides that, it was my first match in Clash Wrestling history, so I was expecting a warm welcome. I just don't understand why I didn't get what I was expecting, and it bothered me. So that, of course, that's why I have to be this quote-unquote bad guy in the match, but to me, I was the only one cheering for myself, and really it shouldn't have been like that. I should be the biggest superstar in Clash Wrestling. I should have been cheered out of the building, but I wasn't.
And you were victorious in that match. And another match
I want to talk
about. Yep. And another match I want to talk about real quick was at Age of Allegiance. You took on a veteran in the business, Scotty 2 Hotty, and what was it like being in the ring with Scotty?
As I explained a couple of months ago, that match was kind of like a bump in the road for me. It was a little thing that stood in my way. Scotty 2 Hotty, I grew up watching Scotty 2 Hotty. I grew up watching Too Cool and Rikishi and all their silly little antics on WWE TV. I grew up watching that. I thought they were entertaining. Did I think that they were the biggest stars in the business? Hell no. Not even close. So for Scotty 2 Hotty to treat me the way he did, especially after that match, after he already got his win, which he cheaply won, by the way, to treat me like he did by having fans come into the ring, jump all around the ring, do their stupid imitations of the worm, and having them jump on top of me, I was infuriated. If anything, that moment ignited a new fire, a new light in me to never let that happen again. And if I ever see Scotty Too Hotty again, if I ever see Scott, I'm not even going to call him Too Hotty. He's not hot anymore. He's cold. If I ever see Scott again, what happened last time is not going to happen again.
And I was just going to ask that, actually. And I wonder if there is a chance we could see you two go at it again in a Clash ring soon.
I hope so. Hell, get Tommy Dreamer in there. I'll take on both WWE guys. I'll beat them both. They have nothing left to give. They're done.
And now let's talk about 1 week ago at All Out War. You were in the 20-man All Out War match, and it was down to you and Gavin Quinn, and you two were the first ever co-winners in Clash history of the All Out War match. And what was going through your mind when you both hit the floor at the same time?
And I've been wanting to rewatch the footage. I know what happened. I know I hit first. So for them to say that Gavin Quinn hit at the same time as me is a bunch of poppycock. I don't believe it. I don't understand why they would have a dual winner. There's only supposed to be one. But for them to say that Gavin Quinn hit at the same time as me is bogus. Get a hold of the footage. Watch it back. I clearly hit before he did. It's unfair that there are two winners. I'm glad I got to righteously bring about good fortune to myself later that night, but for Gavin Quinn to still have a contract and he's still out there waiting for me, that's not fair, and I don't think it's right, and I think things should be different. I think they should take that contract away from him and make him earn it fair and square, because I earned my shot fair and square.
Now let's go to the main event. We saw a brutal triple threat street fight for the Clash heavyweight title. The Monk J. Miller defending against Dead Vaughn and Tommy Dreamer. And Tommy Dreamer gets the win by pinning Dead Vaughn. And you make a smart decision and cash in your contract. And you even bust Tommy Dreamer open with a garbage can shot. And then you become the new Clash heavyweight champion. So is it safe to say this was one of the, if not the greatest moment of your career?
I would say it was right on up there. I would say it's probably one of the best moments I've ever had, for sure. To be the face of a company that deserves a fresh, new, attractive face, yeah, I would say it's definitely right up there. So for me to represent Clash Wrestling with my Clash Heavyweight Championship belt feels good. And to beat an ex-WWE guy, to beat somebody who was in TNA, to beat somebody who was literally the face of BCW, I couldn't ask for a better moment, honestly. I couldn't. To beat him at his own game in a hardcore match was, I can't even tell you in words. I have to tell you in silence how great that moment was, just reflecting on it. Lance, take a second. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Listen to your thoughts. Think back of how amazing that moment was. 10 seconds. Just think about it. Wasn't that a great moment? I mean, just looking back on it, me standing on top of Tommy Dreamer, him bloodied up on the apron, it was amazing. I hope we can have another match so I could do the same damn thing to him again.
I have to admit, I was there in the front row right by the entrance, and I was surprised to see Dreamer win the title in the first place, and I was even more surprised to see you cashed in, and it was a very exciting moment, like you said. And then
don't get me wrong, I'm not. Hold on a second, Lance. Let me talk. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I have all the respect in the world for Tommy Dreamer. I fully respect what he did. I know how big of a star he was in this business. I know what he's done. But I'm going to do the exact same thing, if not more, than Tommy Dreamer. Like I told him and I told everybody else in the crowd, I am the future of this business. If you don't realize it, then you will. And if you didn't realize it before, then you realize that watching me beat the crap out of Tommy Dreamer at All Out War.
And then after you won the title, Gavin Quinn makes his way to the ring and also wants to cash in. But you leave the Taylor Brown Trade Center. But is there a chance we can see you two face off for the title October 19th at Clash from the Crypt?
Oh, of course there's a chance. But I really, honestly, truly do believe he should have that contract taken away from him. I don't think he should be able to cash it in. I don't think he deserves it in the first place. He needs to go to the back of the line, just like every other Clash superstar did too. Just like where I started at. I started at the back of the line, and I worked my ass off all the way to get to the point that I'm at now. So for Gavin Quinn to cheaply get a contract for my Clash Heavyweight Championship for any moment he wants, he could be anywhere. It could be at a Clash show. It could be outside of a Clash show. For him to be able to have that in his hands it pisses me off how unfair that is. I don't understand why I have to be subject to that type of paranoia. I don't like it. I don't think other people like it. If you ask the fans, I'm sure they won't like it. So, yeah, there is a chance. Am I happy about it? No. But if it ever does happen, I'll make sure that I'll leave him starstruck.
Now, do you think Jay Miller deserves a rematch at the championship?
Oh, hell no. Definitely not. He didn't lose the belt to me. Tommy Dreamer lost the belt to me. So if anybody truly deserves a rematch, it's Tommy Dreamer. I would rather wrestle Tommy Dreamer than Jay Miller. And it's nothing against Miller. I think he would be a great opponent. But does he deserve it right now? No. He needs to go to the back of the line right behind Gavin Quinn.
And right now at this time, I'm just going to mention some names of other competitors, and I would like to get your opinions on them.
Well, you got to bring them up or what?
Okay. First off, got to mention, we just talked about him, the former champion, Jay Miller, once again.
You want my opinion of Jay Miller?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have too much of an opinion on him. He doesn't talk. I've never had a conversation with him. He seems boring to me, to be honest. He kicks hard. That's really it.
How about Wrecking Ball Randy Casey?
As somebody who is in prime physical fitness, I can completely and utterly respect the weight that Randy Casey has lost over the years. I remember what he used to look like before. Oh, boy, that guy was big. But now he lost a lot of weight. So, yeah, I can respect that. Does that mean he's a good wrestler? I don't know. I've beaten him a couple of times already. He's powerful as hell. But I've already beaten him a couple of times. I don't think he really is on my level.
Next up is the swag star Dave Manzo.
You know who Dave Manzo reminds me of? Swag star Dave Manzo. He reminds me of that guy at the club who just tries so hard to get attention to himself. He just dances on the floor, does all these fun little moves and whatnot, but he just looks desperate for attention. I'll give him something. He's got a sense of style. I'm not gonna tiptoe around that. He's got a good sense of style. But when it comes to professional wrestling, he's never gonna get as much attention as me. ever in his life.
Amazing Nate Manson.
Nate Matson. I've had a couple of run-ins with Nate already. Not in Clash, mind you, but Nate Matson. What a guy. Unfortunately, he kind of reminds me of like guys like Tommy Dreamer and Scott. You know? He kind of reminds me of them. I'll give Nate something, man. He is one of the best wrestlers in the Midwest. He's been one of the best wrestlers in the Midwest. He always takes me to my limit when I work with him. But just like Scott and just like Tom, I'm way ahead of them. I'm going places that they will never go.
P.D. Williams.
P.D. Williams, TV star. P.D. P.D. is everything that he wishes. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. P.D. is not everything that he wishes he was. Because P.D. wishes he was me. I have the body P.D. wants. I have the opportunities that he's always wanted. I'm now a Clash heavyweight champion, something that he doesn't have, I'm sure he wants as well. So, P.D. Williams, I'll throw out the challenge out there. Come find me. I'll give you a shot. I just want to prove to you that I'm way better than you, and I always will be way better than you.
How about Elk and Professor Matthew Priest?
Elk. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't gorillas supposed to be either in like a zoo or like in the wild? Because that's kind of what Elk reminds me of. He's like this big caveman gorilla type of deal, and to be honest, I really don't even think he belongs in the ring. I think he's unsafe. I think he would. The guy can throw around bags of crap larger than me and not get fazed by it, but I don't think he should be in the wrestling ring, period. I just don't think he's very safe at all. So I would never want to work with him. Ever. And Matthew Priest, I don't even understand why he's aligning himself with Elk. He should align himself with me, somebody who has a real future in this business. Somebody who is going to go places that I could take Matthew Priest. He's always wanted to be where I'm going to go. So I just don't understand why he has to align himself with Elk and not me.
And next up is the mad scientist, Tommy Tresnick.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Why, it's been a few months since he's wrestled in Clash Wrestling.
Yeah, I was looking forward to wrestling him, but I think he's just kind of gone the way of the dodo. Seems to be extinct to me. Not a shame, really.
I got to ask you about Ryback.
Oh, God. Why do you have to ask me this question?
Just curious.
What is it?
What are your thoughts on him?
What are my thoughts on Ryback?
Yeah.
I think Ryback, is a solid wrestler. I think he's a great guy. I love seeing him beat up puny little wimps like Jacob K. and whoever else he worked with. I remember Jacob K. though, that guy from Grand Rapids. Yeah, he got his ass whooped. That was funny. Did you watch that? That was really, 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 really funny.
How about CM Punk?
I don't think he's the best in the world. I really don't think he's the best in the world at all. I mean, he's straight edge, which is really cool, but, I mean, I'm straight edge, too. I haven't touched alcohol. I haven't touched cigarettes or drugs. But for him to be the best in the world it's bullcrap. With me being the Clash heavyweight champion, I'll have a chance to prove why I'm the future of this business and why I'm going to leave everybody starstruck and why I'm actually the best in the world.
Now, how about AJ Styles?
I would say he's like Sting circa 1997. He's doing the exact same thing Sting did, just trying to get attention. To me, he's an attention whore. Why do something somebody has already done? I don't understand it. Just be you, AJ. Just be you. You have a lot of talent. Certainly not as much as me. But just be you for once. The crowd will react to you the way you want them to react.
What are your thoughts on Bully Ray?
On who?
Bully Ray.
Bully Ray. Isn't that, what's his name? Bubba Ray Dudley?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have no opinion. Next.
How about Brock Lesnar?
Misunderstood. Not a lot of people realize he's actually very good at art. He's actually a very good artist. You can see the emotion that pours out of his artwork. He's a deep thinker, that Brock Lesnar. Not so much of a brute like everybody thinks.
And the last one I got is Triple H.
Triple H. I'm excited to see him run the WWE in the future. I'm ready to see Vince McMahon step down and let Triple H take over and see what he can show to everybody. Of course, he's going to have to get out of the ring and stop beating up security guards. But once he's out of the ring and once he actually takes his role seriously, I think everything will go smooth. I think the business will see another boom period. But I think that boom period will start once I'm on TV and I am running the professional wrestling world like the star that I am.
And before we wrap up here, maybe you can let everybody listening know how they can follow you on Twitter and Facebook.
Absolutely. I think everybody should follow me. I have a lot to say. I'm a great guy. I'm humble. So, yeah, if you want to watch me, if you want to see me, if you want to talk to me, if you want to read everything that I can put out there, you can follow me on Twitter at JustinMainOff, OFF. You can follow me on Facebook. You can add me as a friend. I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend till the end. You can look me up on Facebook as Justin. Shut up. Hold on. Shut up. I got to get my stuff out there, all right? You can find me on Facebook, Justin Main. And if you want to watch some great footage of yours truly, if you want to see my beautiful face, if you want to understand why I'm going to be the biggest star in the business soon, you can look me up on YouTube. THS Justin Main, the initials of the Hollywood sensation.
And
now you can talk.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say thanks again for coming on the show. I appreciate it. The new Clash Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Justin Main, and maybe you can come on again sometime.
Absolutely, no problem. I would love to be on your show again. Just ask me some better questions next time, okay?
Okay, I will. And I will see you, I'm sure, October 19th at Clash from the Crypt.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have a little ceremony on October 19th, I guarantee that. It's time for a celebration.
Okay. Justin, thanks once again for coming on, and have a good night.
You too, Lance. You have a great weekend.